Today, I am going to be showing you guys my brand new Lauri Markkanen build in NBA 2K23. Now, this build is absolutely insane because you get gold, limitless range while having slashing takeover on a 7-foot stretch big. Let me not hold you guys for much longer. Let's get straight into the video, man. Let's go. All right, so the only thing that's really important on this screen right here is going to be the position. We're making this build at the power forward position. So now let's take a look at the body settings. All right, so when it comes to the body settings, we're going to go with the height of 7 foot, weight 230 pounds with a 7-foot wingspan and a defined body shape. Now, it's actually pretty interesting because Lauri Markkanen doesn't really have that big of a wingspan. I'm pretty sure his wingspan by default is 7 foot as well. So don't come yelling at me in the comments that this build looks weird because the wingspan's small and he has T-Rex arms. This is what Lauri looks like, okay? But now let's get to the attributes, man. Let's go. All right, so when it comes to the finishing, we're going to get an 89 driving layup, which is going to get us slithery on gold. We're also going to get an 85 driving dunk, which is going to get us a pro contact dunk animations as well as silver posterizer. And another big thing is we're going to get an 80 standing dunk on this build, which is going to get us the basic big man contact dunks. Now, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man, the finishing on this build is pretty solid. Look at this right here. Even without takeover, we're getting the meter contact dunks, but now we got take, so let's get a little bit more active, get that easy contact dunk to go down. It's just a really solid build, man, when it comes to finishing. And just in case there are some people that are watching this that don't really know how Lauri Markkanen plays, which I don't even know how you made it onto this video, but he's actually pretty good when it comes to dunking around the rim. He can actually get some contact dunks. You could look up some of the poster dunks he's been getting in Utah. He's been dunking over players like Nikola Vucevic, which I mean, well, Nikola Vucevic isn't really that great of a defender, but he's been getting some pretty gnarly posters. So don't say that this build is unrealistic that I put contact dunks on it, because I ain't gonna lie to you, man. He deserves contact dunks on his build in 2K as well. He's only got like a 70 driving dunk, but he be getting crazy dunks IRL. So I think they need to adjust that just a wee bit. And the other really good thing too is that since we have that really high driving layup, we're gonna get access to animations that we normally could not get with just an 85 driving dunk. We're gonna get gold slithery, gold fearless finisher, which is just going to make it easier to finish around the rim. But now let's talk about the shooting on this build. You're going to get an 82 mid-range with that 92 three-pointer. This is going to get you gold limitless range on this build, which makes this build kind of crazy because that means you're on a pure stretch big that can shoot from limitless, gets contact dunks, and has slashing takeover with a 90+3. That's pretty insane. Now, again, this build is crazy when it comes to the shooting aspect because listen, we can hit all of our off the dribble shots. Since we have that 92 three-pointer, we can hit our fades from 3, our step backs from 3. All of these options are available on this build, especially when you put on badges like Hall of Fame Space Creator and Gold Agent 3s. So don't think that when you play on this type of build that you're going to be just a catch and shoot guy, because then you are really limiting this build. I'm not gonna lie to you. You got to be able to shot create a little bit, take those fades, take those step backs, because you can't have a 90+ three-pointer and just be a spot up in the corner, man. You got to be able to shot create a little bit, take some deep shots, and I promise y'all this build is more than capable of all those things, as you've been seeing throughout this entire video so far. But now, since we've talked plenty about all the shots that you could take off the dribble, we got to talk about the catch and shoots, man, because that's what Lauri Markkanen is known for. He's known for being that stretch big that is super consistent when he catches that ball and launches it towards the rim. And you're gonna feel the exact same way on this build off the catch. Any weird catch animations that you might get in this game, because trust me, there are plenty, you're still gonna be able to knock down those shots. And not only that, but if you start getting, like, let's say you shoot the ball too soon when you get the catch and you get like a leaner animation, you're gonna be able to shoot those and knock those down as well. As soon as you catch that ball, you're gonna be able to shoot it. You're gonna be able to be a knockdown shooter. And overall, this build is just fun. It's fun to be able to shoot like this, super crazy high 3-point rating while getting contact dunks. It's just a fun build to play on. Now take a look at this final clip right here, man. We're stepping it back. We're gonna cancel the animation. What is this man jumping out? We run to the corner, we fade to 3. So now when it comes to the playmaking, we're going to get a 76 pass accuracy, which is going to get you the LeBron James passing style as well as gold break starter. You're also going to have a 69 ball handle, which is going to be high enough to get you the Giannis Antetokounmpo as well as Kawhi Leonard signature size of, so which you only need a 65 for, but I saw no reason not to upgrade it a little bit farther. And then you're also going to get a 62 speed with ball on this build, which is going to help you speed boost a little bit. Now, you do not get quick first step on this build at all, and that's okay because you got to understand this Lauri Markkanen build. The main thing is you're going to be playing off ball, right? You're going to be setting screens, doing pick and roll, pick and pop, and then if you do get the ball, if you're very quick with it, you can catch and drive, activate the dunk beater, you can catch and hit him with a step back. You can do a lot of things with not having quick first step, if I'm going to be honest with you. Now let's let's take a look at some of these playmaking highlights. Now, understand with this section of the video, a lot of the highlights I'm going to be showing you guys is literally just going to be me throwing fast break passes, because that's one of the best ways to demonstrate the pass accuracy that we do have on this build. But we do have this one dot right here. As we're in the corner, we're dotting the opposite hash. I just knew he was open, so I saw it and I threw it. Right here, we're doing a little bit of a hot potato between me and Koza as we're driving to the rim. But again, right here, get the rebound. We're kicking this out, getting it all the way across the court, and the defense cannot get in the way with it. And that's the most important thing with having this super high pass accuracy, is being able to get these transition breaks, which is why I show these a lot, because these are probably the best example of how having that high pass accuracy can be really effective. It's going to be better than having something like a 65, which is silver break starter. Now, obviously, Hall of Fame break starter is better, but this is definitely a really nice, sweet spot. So that's going to be it for the playmaking. So now let's move on to the defense. All right, so now taking a look at the defense, you're going to get a 73 interior, a 68 perimeter, a 62 steal, a 93 block, which is going to get you that gold anchor, which is super important to have, and an 85 defensive rebound, which is going to get you silver rebound chaser. Now, this build is surprisingly solid on defense. Having that gold anchor is going to do a lot of favors for you. You're going to get a lot of blocks on this build, especially when it comes to getting chase down blocks. Even though we have that minimum wingspan, we're still 7 feet tall, so that means we got a 7-foot wingspan, which means that with that gold anchor, we're still going to get plenty of blocks on this build, as you've been seeing so far throughout this entire video. Now listen, I had to cut quite a few defensive highlights from this build as we're getting towards the end of this video, because I want to keep this video in a reasonable time frame for you guys to watch. But understand, you can still get way more defensive highlights than you saw throughout this section of the video on this type of build. You can stop the post scores, you can stop anything that gets to the rim. But now let's talk about the build in total. So now here is the build fully maxed out. We're going to get 17 finishing, 25 shooting, 12 playmaking, and 20 defensive badges. When it comes to the extra badges that you get from the Welcome to the League storyline, I ended up putting 3 of those onto playmaking to get me 15 playmaking, so I can use bronze unpluckable. Saying that's something that you have to do, but it's something I wanted to do on this build just to make sure it's not as easy for people to pluck me. But if I were to put the badges in other places, I recommend putting them in either the finishing or the shooting. But now let's talk about takeovers on this build. So now you can actually get a pretty decent amount of takeovers on this build. I ended up going with easy blow-bys as the primary takeover and sharpshooting as the secondary takeover. I believe on this build you also get all of the rim protecting takeovers, so you can use those if you want. But to really mimic the offensive capabilities of Lauri Markkanen, I ended up going with slashing takeover to make it easier to get those contact dunks, and we still had to put on that limitless range because we know Lauri has that burner. So now we're coming out of the My Player Builder. We're going to get the player comparisons of Kevin Durant, Rashard Lewis, and Kristaps Porzingis, and we're going to get the build name 3-level score. Now, if you want to get the build name stretch 4 on this build, there is one change that you can make. You just got to lower that standing dunk all the way to the minimum. By minimum, I mean lower it to where you could still get that 85 driving dunk. Just put those attributes somewhere else and you'll get the name stretch 4 on this build. But that's it, man. I'm out. There's going to be a stream later today where we're using this build, so make sure you stick around for that. But I'm out. Peace.